authorities to ensure. But now, what updates do you have now?
No, I think the Finnish government have their own procedure they're going through. The Nigerian government have forwarded all the relevant documents, exhibits, and everything about what's going on. So I'm sure justice will be done.
So it looks like it's taking longer than necessary.
Well, it's not our country; it's a sovereign country. They have their own procedures, so they have to follow their own procedures. Ours is to ensure they will follow up and make sure that we monitor what's being done. But I'm sure they will do, because we have been able. I think the Attorney General did a fantastic job, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the Minister of Defense, together with the Office of the National Security Advisors, comprehensive things were done. Exhibits were forwarded that will enable them to be able to take action.
How dangerous was Simon Ekpa's activities and all allied or related to your office and to the Nigerian society?
Very dangerous. Innocent people were killed just by his utterances. And so we needed to stop that. And that's immediately picked him. You see that it has gone down. There are people like him that also doing those things. We're also equally going after them, both outside and within. There are people that benefit. The funny thing about the country is that some people think everything is about politics. There are individuals that feel if there is peace, then maybe the government is doing too well, and then people want to applaud. So some people intentionally want to make sure that the country remains ungovernable. There's strife everywhere, but innocent people are killed. If you want to be a leader and you are praying for some people to be killed just because you want to come in, I think there's a problem somewhere.
So the agitation in the Southeast region, I mean, you have mentioned that it is not only the fight, but there are other measures. Yeah. Do you think that the release of Nnamdi Kanu might help the situation?
Well, I don't know. I think the federal government is considering all options, and I think that's a decision, that's a political decision. It's not our own decision. Our own decision is to stop the killing, to ensure that we secure the communities and that they're free. People must stop providing necessary support to these individuals. In Maiduguri, why surrendering came up with that, people stopped supporting them, and they were able to come out. So I think the same thing should be repeated here. So that we can have
each time I watch this video, I just begin to laugh. How Musa was really crying over Mazi Simon Ekpa, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But that is not the major news today, because as it stands in the southeastern part of the country, military has refused planned attack on southeast residents. This is how they've been actually attacking, southeastern residents known as Biafraland. But as it stands, the military have come out to say, no, we are not attacking Biafraland, because of so many allegations that were coming up, during the sit at home, the historic sit at home of the Heroes Day, and also other events that have actually unfolded, about how the military have been buying innocent people in Biafraland. Without wasting much of your time, let us go into that news, as it just landed to us. Let us go into the news in detail. The Nigerian army has refuted allegation that its commanders held a meeting recently to coordinate attacks on recent residents of the Southeast region on May 30. It also stated that the Joint Task Force Southeast Operation Udoka remains committed to its constitutional responsibility of protecting law-abiding citizens and maintaining peace in the region. Did I just hear protecting? The same people you're protecting is the same people that have been crying over your attacks here and there on innocent Biafrans. But let us still continue with the news. The denial followed a recent broadcast and publication by Mazi Chinasa on Radio Biafra and some media platforms, where he made several scorching remarks against the integrity and operational successes of the task force. Woru said that the task force had planned to attack residents of the region on May 30, a day declared a sit at home in remembrance of agitators of Biafra. But a statement by the spokesperson of the Joint Task Force Southeast Operation Udoka, Lieutenant Colonel Jonah Onoakalu, stated that the narrative is not just a fabrication but a deliberate psychological approach aimed at spreading fear, sowing mistrust, and isolating communities. Meanwhile, the military has said that it is adequately prepared to counter drone attacks by any terrorist groups whenever they acquire cutting-edge weapons such as drone technology. The Air Component Commander of Operation Udoka, Air Commodore Doyun Laha, said this while briefing defense correspondent during a bi-yearly media tour of the Joint Task Force in Enugu. Laha, represented by Operation Officer Squadron Leader Larry Aziz, said the challenges affecting their operation in the southeast include poor weather conditions, congested terrain, as well as the limited availability of intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance platforms. He, however, noted that the military is leveraging technology to overcome challenges. That is that on today's issue on all the attack that we are getting in Biafran land. Now, in other issues, an army barrack was actually attacked. Another army barrack was attacked, and so many officers lost their lives. We'll be giving you more updated news on that particular matter. Where a barrack was actually attacked, and an army barrack for that matter was attacked, and so many soldiers lost their life, including commanders. Yes, that is just the case. But the issue of innocent people being pied, by the terrorist army is no longer something new in Biafran land. Most times we ask, what is the military actually doing in Biafran land? Instead of you going to the major places where bandits are buying your people, bandits are destroying lives and properties, bandits are buying innocent, civilians in the northeastern part. Christians cannot even go to church freely. They can't worship. Yet you claim that there is freedom of worship. Yet Christian cannot worship freely. And yet all you do is to bring in more weaponry, more gadgets, and more powerful machineries, into Biafran land, just to attack our people and buy innocent people. No, this is not how things are actually done. And that is why the Biafran Defense Forces continue to resist these attacks by these people. Now let us go into the full detail of the attacks, and the planned attacks by the military in Biafran land.
And let me tell you, the alternatives are more disastrous, because if they take over, I can guarantee you nobody will be free.
Breaking news. CDS Musa hints at military takeover. The Cries bad governance in the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. Here are the news in details. Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world, you are welcome to Biafra Unite channel /television this very moment. Today's date is 20th of September 2024, and I have breaking information and video clip for every one of you listening to my voice right now from where you are all over the world. Biafrans and lovers of freedom, I want you to pay very good attention to this very news, because it's very, very important. I can assure you, my people. The Chief of Defense Staff of the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria, Christopher Musa, has decried the bad governance in the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria, under Mohammed Tinubu. Right now, he has hinted the military takeover, which everybody is already expecting in the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. So without further ado, I want us to watch this very interview from Arise News Television that he granted this very morning. And after that, we will analyze it properly. He did not just hint at military takeover, he also decried the bad governance, and it did not end there. He also highlighted what the Janjaweed terrorist soldiers are facing, especially those who are here in the place they call Southeast, those who are fighting the Biafra Liberation Army, even though he never mentioned it. But before moving forward, let us watch the video and then we proceed from there.
So how do you respond to those who say the military is giving excuses, CDS? There are criticisms from figures like retired General Theophilus Danjuma, who says the military cannot continue to give excuses. There are criticisms from individuals like the Zamfara state governor, who says, you know where the bandits are. But as a state governor, he's limited. And so the federal government should do that. I mean, you answer to the federal government. So if you do know where the bandits are, like the Zamfara governor claims, and that there should be no excuses, like retired General Theophilus Danjuma is saying, how do you explain to Nigerians that these are not just excuses you are giving?
Well, we know that the armed forces of Nigeria is highly professional. We will never give excuses. We are only telling you the realities on ground. It's not an excuse that the whole network is 200 and something thousand square kilometers. It is massive. You need a lot to be able to address those issues. And then the worst part of it is that people need to understand fighting insurgency is not like conventional warfare. Conventional warfare, you know the enemy. Insurgency, you don't. That person that you think is innocent and doesn't have anything is the person that really want to kill you, is the one doing these things. Now, we know that they are in Nigeria. Where in Nigeria is another thing. Most times, because of the vast nature of the area, once people see them at a particular area, before the information is relayed to us, sometimes takes 4 or 5 hours, sometimes 24 hours. These guys are mobile. And because most of that area that you see is covered by forest, so by the time they go under the forest, even your surveillance drones cannot see them. So it takes a lot. And because they don't remain at a particular land, they are always moving. That's where we are seeking for the support of the individual, because people see them. And as soon as they see them, once they report that, we'll be able to take action immediately. Now, don't forget, fighting asymmetric warfare, military role is just about 20-25% of the solution. 75 to 80% of the solution is with good governance, because preventive measures are better than you being reactive.
Now, I want you to pay very good attention. He has started talking. Remember, he said 80% of it, 75 to 80% of fighting asymmetric warfare, it depends on good governance. Now pay attention.
We're doing now is reacting to it because it has already been there. Again, we have social issues on the country. There's a lot of hunger, a lot of unemployment, a lot of illiteracy that is on. So
you see, now he is hitting the government. He said, again, we have a lot of hunger in the country. We have a lot of unemployment. We have a lot of illiteracy. He is talking about the government. But remember, he is here to speak about military takeover. So let's continue.
It's easier. I can bet you in every week we take over thousands of them. But they still keep coming. Why? Because we have so many of them. We will have to look at population explosion. There are a lot of people that have nothing doing. And these guys could easily entice them, give them peanuts, and then they will be able to join them. And so that's why I said it's a holistic thing that we need to do. Now, I tell you, a lot of these locations where you have improvised explosive devices, these are the major challenges we're having now in the fight against insurgency.
Now he's talking about Biafraland, though he did not mention it. But he's talking about Biafra because that is where they usually talk about these explosive devices, IEDs and all that. So pay attention while we continue.
If your men step on any of these mines, the vehicle in it is destroyed, all the occupants are dead.
That is exactly what we have been doing to them, especially against their armor tanks. That is exactly what... Let's continue.
Now, how do you stop that? If we have good roads. If you have good roads, you don't have to worry about that. Your troops can really react as quickly as possible. Reinforcement is easier. Logistics could be moved quite easily. So you see, it makes it a lot easier.
He said to react to that is only when you have good roads. And who provides good road? The government. He is still hitting the government. Now let's continue.
Now what you do is that if you see a situation where you have terrorists maybe operating 10 kilometers away, because of these IEDs, you dare not speed up to go there. If you do that and you step on any minefield, you are gone. We do not have those modern IED, counter-IED equipment that could detect, probably using drones across. So what we have to do, we have to go on foot and cover every inch of the ground. So you can imagine trekking scanning every inch of the ground for 10 kilometers. How many hours will that take you to? But men, the troops are doing the best they can. And I can guarantee you we are committed. We'll continue to do what we're doing. And with the support of every Nigerian, it's important. And that's why I need to call on Nigerians. I've had a number of times people insulting members of the armed forces or the security forces. I think nobody will be happy with that. We are humans. We deal with the morale of the mind. If you are protecting individuals and you get those insults, it discourages you from wanting to do more. And that's why it's important for people to know that these guys have families. They're equally Nigerian. They will have been in their homes, at home, sitting down with their families. Some have not seen their families for months. Yet, whether it is raining, whether it is dust, or from wanting to do more. Members of the armed forces or the security forces, I think nobody will be happy with that. We are humans. We deal with the morale of the mind. If you are protecting individuals and you get those insults, it discourages you from wanting to do more. And that's why it's important for people to know that these guys have families. They're equally Nigerian. They will have been in their homes, at home, sitting down with their families. Some have not seen their families for months. Yet, whether it is raining, whether it is dust, or whatever the situation is, they are sitting down there, they have sworn to an oath to stay awake so that Nigerians could sleep. I think the least we could do is to support them. If they make mistakes, yes, let's bring it, but let's not insult them. And I think that's a wrong thing for people to do. So I want to appeal to Nigerians. Let us come together, support them, because without them, all of us sitting there in our homes, eating and drinking, it's not going to be possible. And let me tell you, the alternatives are more disastrous, because if they take over, I can guarantee you nobody will be free. So,
did you hear that? That is why I was waiting for him. He said that the alternative is very, very disastrous, because if they take over, if the military take over, nobody will be free. Did you hear that? I have been hammering on this. I have been telling the whole world that Musa is gearing up to take over the rulership of the Zoological Republic. How many of you remember? Even not quite long ago, just a couple of weeks or months ago, I also talked about it. I told you that Musa, Christopher Muhammad Musa, is gearing up, is preparing to take over the presidency of the Zoological Republic through military coup. Although he is not the one that will actually carry out the coup. The younger soldiers will carry out the coup under his supervision. But during this time, both during the planning process, which is ongoing as I'm speaking to you right now, which has begun very long time ago, during the planning process and during the time to carry out the action, Musa will be completely omitted. He will be removed out of the picture. But immediately they succeed in doing this, Musa will come and take over the power, because it is well planned. The only problem they are having is Labaja. I'm telling you, the only problem they are having is Labaja, because Labaja is on the side of Tinubu. Labaja cannot allow military takeover, but Musa and his boys are seriously pushing for military takeover. How many of you remember how many times I have been talking about this? And I have even went further to tell you that Musa is preparing to take over in the Zoological Republic. How many of you? I want you to comment in the comment section if you are following, and if you keep history. I want you to let me know in the comment section. So let's continue.
Let me tell you, the alternatives are more disastrous, because if they take over, I can guarantee you nobody will be free. So it's very, very important. And that's why I want to make that very clear for Nigerians to understand that, because you have your sitting there in your comfort and enjoying yourself, you think those guys don't matter. They have families. If you go to hospitals, you see some of them amputated. Some have died. What happens to them? Always remember, put yourself in there.
All right. You have seen it. And remember when he calls on the Nigerians to support the so-called armed forces. Of course, when you say armed forces, he's talking about the Nigerian terrorists. When he calls on the Nigerians to support them, he is talking to Nigerians, not Biafrans. He is talking to his own people, Nigerians, not we the Biafran people. Because if anybody from Biafraland sabotages the effort of the BLA to neutralize these terrorists from our land and regain our independence and freedom, that person, I'm talking to you, who have made yourself willing tools to these criminals, these terrorists from Zamfara, from Sahel, from Borno State, from Maiduguri, coming down here in Biafraland to massacre our people, our women and children, and you made yourself available as a willing tool to sabotage your own people, you will pay the ultimate price. In fact, a man, not that you man none of Biafraland to spend the money, but a man none do will spend the other money. Mad people everywhere. Thank you, my people. To salo numozi akona apoto and make it go viral. Fulani herdsmen unleash mayhem across the southeast in total conquest of Biafra land. Hear the news in details. Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world, you are welcome once again to Biafra Unite channel / television this very moment. Today's date is 25th of May 2025, and I have some video clips and important information for every one of you listening to my voice right now from wherever you are all over the world. Dear friends and lovers of freedom, we have to move straight to this very news because I'm not sure we have much time for preambles. Now, you can see the video on your screen. I have two different video clips for you. Things are going on, and these are the things that they can never tell you. Dear friends, I want you to pay attention. I want you to open your eyes. Mepekwa na anyo no. Open your eyes, Chineke. These are the things they can never show you. They don't want you to see them. They want you to be blind. They don't want you to see them. And people like me, when we bring them to your doorsteps, when we bring them and talk about them, they become angry. They don't want you to know, so that they keep on deceiving you now, corner by the side. These are the things that they are hiding from you. Tell me or show me any of them that are showing you these things happening in our land. The only thing they know how to do is on a specific day, on a very specific day every week, they will come and do what they know how to do best. That is the only time they remind you of how Janjaweed terrorist army is invading our land, because they are targeting something from you. Because I will not continue shouting like this. Very soon, I will no longer continue shouting like this. Opportunity utilize it. Jobano Fajujo, what is going on in our land? Now, Jono Fajujo, what is happening in our land? Hold your government accountable. Hold them accountable. They can talk and rant and attack me as much as they can. It does not stop me from doing the needful unless I decide to keep quiet. Especially when I see that they can no longer regain their sense of reasoning. Then I may decide to keep quiet. Now, my people, let us watch this first clip of video, and after this I will play you the second video. Pay attention, things are going on in our land. Jobano Fajujo once again. Joanofa, where are our army? Jobano Fajujo. Emaloni neso. Emalo anybody ne follow. Jobonya Ajujo. Jobai. Akwe na turo yego. Jobaya Ajujo. Where is our army? What is going on in our land? It's a very simple question. What is going on in our land? Watch before I bring you the second one.
Just imagine what these people is doing in our place. Imagine what they are doing in our home, in our country home. They have left Soka Road. Now they have come to Ogu Road. Maybe it is becoming hotter for them, for that on Soka Road. Now they have come to our place. This is Ituku Ogu. Ituku Ogu. I can't believe this. I can't just believe this.
Okay, thank God.
You see? Can you see how they cause traffic? They cause traffic. Operating in the broad daylight, causing traffic. Nobody is responding to them. Are you paying attention, Muchineke? Operating in broad daylight, block or road, in the broad daylight. Nanibo, Nkanya, Enugu State. I'm going to bring you another one from a different part of Biafraland. Nkabu Enugu. Unchallenged. Operating unchallenged. Nanibo. It was never like this, especially under Mazi Simon Ever. This is what the Fulani oligarchy want. The terrorist group owners, those who own terror groups in the north. This is what they want to bring to our land. That's why they are fighting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That's why they want to silence Mazi Simon Ever by all means. This is exactly what they want. Total conquest of our land. Unfortunately, we do no longer have any man left in our land. Unfortunately. Now let me show you the second video.
Biko Âřmý ohere na-ekele ndị Agwa, ndị mba anọ Agwa Autonomous Community na ndị Umuekpu Agwa. Onye nụ na olie na-awụ Pastor Onyejekwa Ekele Davis, Ọgazi 1 of Umuekpu Agwa. Achọrọ m iji ohere a gosinụ ma kọwapụtaranụ mkpamkpa kpara na Umuekpu n'abalị Chijifo taa. Ihe anụ na ahụ na-awụ ụkwụ nnama ndị Fulani kpọ nnama ha bịa wakpa anyị n'abalị Chijimafo taa. Ihe m na-agwa ihe ebe ị na-ahụ na-awụ kọmpaụndụ mmadụ. Ihe ahụ kọmpaụndụ mmadụ. Ihe awụ ụlọ kọmpaụndụ ndị mmadụ ri ihe a. Leechaa ihe ndị ahụ plantain. N'abalị Chijifo taa, aga m egosi gị ihe awụ ụlọ mmadụ n'abalị Chijifo taa ka ndị akpọ nnama ha wakpa anyị n'Umuekpu Agwa. Ihe awụ akpụ ndị mmadụ gbara na dia compound. Ihe akpụ mmadụ gbara na compound ya. Leechaa ya, ị ga-ahụ ihe compound mmadụ, ihe akpụ, ihe awụ the segment of the community